Imagine waking up one morning to find that your life savings enough yesterday to buy a house can now barely afford a loaf of bread. Your monthly salary is worthless by the time you receive it. People are carrying cash in wheelbarrows, not wallets. This isn't a dystopian fantasy. This is hyperinflation, and it's happened more times than most people realize. We think of money as stable, something we can count on, but history says otherwise. The worst hyperinflations didn't just destroy bank accounts. They destroyed governments, families, and empires. They burned through societies like financial wildfires, exposing just how fragile our systems really are. You're about to see exactly how 5 countries watched their currencies collapse into ash, and what it cost them. As you listen, remember, inflation isn't always loud at first. It creeps in. It whispers, and by the time most people notice, it's too late to run. Let's start in Weimar Germany, 1923. After World War I, Germany was crushed by over 132 billion gold marks in war reparations. So, what did the government do? It printed money, lots of it. By November 1923, the German mark was virtually worthless. A loaf of bread cost 200 billion marks. People burned cash for warmth. Middle-class families watched lifetimes of savings evaporate in weeks. But the real damage wasn't just the money, it was trust. When a society loses faith in its currency, everything breaks. This financial collapse created the desperation and chaos that gave extremists their opening. Fast forward to Zimbabwe in the early 2000s. Facing sanctions, the government responded to a failing economy with, you guessed it, the printing press. By 2008, Zimbabwe's inflation rate hit an estimated 79.6 billion%. Prices doubled every 24 hours. The government kept adding zeros to the currency until they issued a $100 trillion bill. Eventually, they just gave up and switched to foreign currencies. Hyperinflation wiped out pensions, collapsed industries, and created a generation of economic refugees. Now, let's go back to Hungary, 1946. This is often called the worst hyperinflation in history. After World War II, the government started printing a currency called the pengo at an insane rate. At its peak, prices were doubling every 15 hours. The inflation rate hit 41.9 quadrillion%. That's A4 with 16 The currency was so devalued, they had to create new notes worth millions, then billions of the old ones. Ultimately, the government had to abandon the currency entirely. Next, Venezuela. From the 2010s to today, years of corruption and reckless monetary policy turned one of the region's wealthiest countries into a cautionary tale. By 2018, the inflation rate crossed 1 million%. Imagine having to spend your entire paycheck the day you get it before it loses half its value. Supermarkets were empty. Doctors and engineers fled the country. Once again, hyperinflation gutted the economy and shredded the social fabric. Our final case is Yugoslavia in the 1990s. After the country's violent breakup, the economy collapsed. In 1993, inflation reached 313 million% per month. Prices doubled every day and a half. The government introduced new currencies again and again, each time wiping out old savings. The official currency became a joke. In every case, the pattern repeats. A government faces a crisis. It prints money, trust evaporates, and the currency collapses. You might be thinking, that's history. We're smarter now. But are we? Today, global debt is at a record high. The United States alone has over $34 trillion in national debt. For the last decade, central banks have printed trillions to prop up economies. And for a while, it seemed to work. Until it didn't. In 2021 and 2022, after years of low inflation, prices began rising fast. For the first time in decades, people started asking hard questions again. What is money, and what happens when the trust breaks? We're not in hyperinflation yet, but the warning signs are there. Not just in prices, but in a dangerous idea that we can print money without consequences. The difference now is scale. The entire global economy is interconnected, and if trust breaks this time, it won't just be one country. So, what can you learn from this? First, real wealth is not paper. It's purchasing power, hard assets, and valuable skills. Second, trust is everything. Currencies collapse because belief does. Third, inflation punishes the unprepared. It hits those living paycheck to paycheck the hardest. Financial education isn't just about growing your wealth, it's about protecting it. Protection means understanding the system, reducing debt, and diversifying your assets. Most of all, it means remembering that inflation is a hidden tax, a slow erosion of your financial freedom. These historical events weren't random. They were caused by bad policy, denial, and the seductive lie that money can be created without consequence. But now you know the pattern. If this gave you a new perspective, hit that subscribe button. History has the answers, and I'll show you where to look. Thanks for watching.